From architecture to painting and sculpture, literature to live music and theater. Radio 111 presents Bonnie G and Brayan Mendoza with The Desert Scene, your connection to culture and entertainment in the desert cities. Here's Bonnie and Brayan.
And welcome to The Desert Scene. How are you doing today, Brayan?
Suddenly my neck feels a little stiff just as we were recording. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Please don't do this.
You're too young for that. Okay, welcome to The Desert Scene. We're very excited to have our guest for today, Walter Mueller, Director of Development at Olive Crest. And they have a big event coming up, a golf invitational on February 7th. We're going to talk all about that. Hi, Walter, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to hear from you.
Yes. So first of all, let's get some background for people who don't know. Tell us a little bit about the Olive Crest organization and what the kind of work you guys do.
Well, thanks. Yeah, Olive Crest is really all about ensuring that kids have a safe and loving home to grow up in, and it should be a basic kind of expectation in life, but sometimes it's not always that. So Olive Crest works with families and, of course, children to make sure that they have that experience. We provide child abuse prevention, family crisis intervention. We also have homes for children and teens and even aged out youth between 18 and 20 that need a safe, loving place to stay. So we've got quite a lot going on in the desert. We serve over 600 children and families each year, and that number continues to rise.
And when did Olive Crest first open? How many years have you guys been around?
Well, altogether, we do have services throughout Southern California and even into other states in the West Coast. But just in our Coachella Valley, it's been 20 years.
Wow. And how long have you been involved with the organization?
I was fortunate to come on board about 5 years ago. I was formerly a foster parent and just fell in love with just the community and just the opportunity to ensure that every kid has the chance to pursue their dreams in life. So that's what brought me to Olive Crest, and I pinch myself every week. It's a really special place.
And I'm just looking at the some of the material I have here. I didn't realize this. Every 10 seconds in the U.S., a report of child abuse is made, and nearly 5 children die on a daily basis from abuse-related causes. That's a lot of kids.
It's very sobering. It can be overwhelming. And what we try to do is actually get in front of crisis. And so that is more and more of what our focus is in the prevention of child abuse. And we have some great programs, which I can share in your program, that really are reaching out to parents that are going through times of crisis so that they can actually have a safe place for their kids while they manage some of the stressors that might lead to abuse and neglect. So, yeah, we are really trying to actually take a more proactive approach to handle those sobering numbers.
Yeah, so let's we'll get into. I promise we'll get into the golf tournament in just a minute. But yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about some of those programs? If someone were listening and we're in a situation, a parent who's having a crisis and is just feeling like they're on the edge and they don't want it to become a child abuse situation, what could they do?
Right. But I love that question because I feel like any one of your viewers might have a neighbor, a friend, a family member, or maybe even themselves that are going through one of these times or will be going through one of those times and just needs someone to come alongside and help them. So our preventative program is called Safe Families, and it's really a community engagement effort. So what we do is we provide compassionate local volunteers who will volunteer and open up their home for children whose parents are going through some kind of a crisis. So most often in the desert, that includes some type of addiction or domestic abuse, and often it also includes homelessness. So that is a program that we're really aggressively trying to scale up, and it's humbling to see the response from the community and the way individuals will open up their homes to complete strangers in a way that can ensure that these young children are out of harm's way. You know, you don't want to have them living in a home with addiction or abuse or living under a park bench. And all of those things, sadly, are very much a reality in our community.
And I'm guessing that you have a lot of volunteers that help out with these issues.
Well, that's a great question. We never have enough. So I would say if anybody is listening today and wants to get involved in Olive Crest, there's so many different ways that they can. We have hundreds of volunteers that do step forward to help us. We have a number of businesses that will provide supplies. We have like a Christmas drive and a back-to-school drive. And, there's ongoing needs for the population that we serve almost throughout the year, as well as opportunities to provide, mentoring and tutoring, and the list goes on and on. But, we're very fortunate with the generosity of people and their time as well.
I think Brian has a question for you.
Oh, yes. I wanted to just ask real quick, what are some red flags that someone can see within themselves that maybe that they can consider, let's say, like indicators that they might hurt their child eventually? Like, what are some red flags that you would recommend that someone looks at internally to make sure that they don't hurt a child or something like that? I don't know how to word that question. Like, I'm trying to be...
You did it.
I'm trying to figure it out, but like...
Yeah.
Because I know that some people, like, there's some obvious ones, of course, like if you get into like substance abuse, then obviously that would be it. But what are some not so obvious red flags?
It's a tremendous question. A lot of people just think that it's what happens to the next guy, the person next door. It's never themselves. But some things to look for is just if you're experiencing unusual changes in emotions or behaviors, significant swings, if you're feeling withdrawn and having difficulty getting along with other people, pulling back from some of your normal activities, trouble sleeping, any of those can really be a sign that you may want to reach out for help.
Okay. All right. Now and thank you for all the great work you do there. Now let's talk about the golf tournament that's coming up, the annual golf invitational. It's coming up Monday, February 7th at the Classic Club. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'll first say that the golf tournament would really not have any purpose if it were not for the programs that we just talked about.
Right.
So this is an annual event that really supports local services for local families. And so it's just imperative that I think everyone listening knows that their dollars are going to a really great cause.
Right.
And so the golf tournament, as you said, Monday, February 7th, it's going to be at the Classic Club. It's an amazing course out in Palm Desert. And so one of the neat things about our tournament is we partner with alumni from the University of Southern California. And in fact, some of the players that were on the national championship team under Pete Carroll. And our event is run by All-American and national champion Darnell Bing. So anybody that comes out to play will have a chance to meet these legends of football and also, of course, enjoy 18 holes of golf and a lot of the trappings that a normal charity event would have. We have like a hole-in-one and a longest drive. And then we also do something called a golf ball cannon. And so I love this because I'm not the guy that can drive it 300 yards down the fairway.
Yeah.
But this is kind of a great equalizer because everybody can use the golf ball cannon, shoot it from the tees, and for once in their life, they're right in the center, 300 yards down the fairway. So
that's great.
A lot of really fun stuff that we're going to be offering that day.
Okay, and so let's talk about Golf Foursome is priced at $1,200. Event sponsorships range from $500 all the way up to $15,000. To register, you can go to www.olivecrest.org/IE/golf-tournament-2022. Is that right?
That's a mouthful, or they can just give me a call, which if anybody wants to call me directly, the line is 619-600-1284. It is a local organization just with a unique area code. So that's 619-600-1284, or they can email me directly at walter-mueller@olivecrest.org.
And how many years has this golf tournament been put on?
In its most recent format, this is our second year, and we took a pause a few years ago, and so we've been bringing this back. Obviously, everybody loves to golf, and it's the desert, so it's almost always beautiful weather, and so this is the second year into this format.
And let's see, event sponsors so far: Toyota Riverside, Kennedy Wilson Properties, Holstrom Block and Park. So have you gotten pretty good turnout in past tournaments?
We have, yeah. So last year we were completely sold out, and this year we've got 10 foursomes still available, and so I'm very confident that those will fill up soon. So if anybody is listening and interested, we'd love them to reach out and book their space now.
And do you have, is this your main fundraising event for the year, or do you have several things throughout the year?
For 2022, this is going to be our major fundraising event. Yes. Mm-hmm. So it's very important, obviously, that this brings the necessary proceeds for our services.
And so if somebody were listen to this and wanted to volunteer to help your organization, because as you said, you always need more, would they also call the 619-600-1284 number?
Yes. That would be great.
Okay. Well, Walter, what great work. And your particular organization, are you the kind of the only people in the desert that do exactly what you do?
Yeah, we are the sole provider of family preservation services in the desert. Okay. And that is a really neat program that just provides us a holistic approach to families that are going through difficult times.
Excellent. Well, Walter Mueller, Director of Development, Olive Crest, big event coming up, the Golf Invitational, Monday, February 7th. Again, for information to volunteer or whatever, 619-600-1284. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks again for all the great work you guys do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great day, Walter Mueller. All right. We will see you the next time on The Desert Scene.